From Laval Stadium on the campus of Stony Brook University, a little history today on Long Island's North Shore. For the first time as members of the Colonial Athletic Association, the Seawolves will play a conference contest, and they'll kick off the campaign against the Blue Hens of Delaware. Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Join alongside Kylie Oldmiller. I'm Johnny Wincott. Well, Stony Brook, no pressure, just the longest active conference winning streak in college sports. They'll sport a 4-1 mark into conference play. Delaware started their season 4-1, Kylie. They've lost 3 consecutive.
Though Delaware's overall record versus Stony Brook is 0-3, head coach Amy Altig has never seen this matchup in her tenure before as the leader of this Blue Hen squad. So you can expect she's looking for a different outcome this afternoon.
It'll be a hungry Seawolves team as well off their first loss of the season, 13-8 against Northwestern. Plenty of bright spots to pull away. Ellie Massera front and center, 5 games, 5 hat tricks.
Ellie Massera, 7 shots on goal per game is the stat that leads the NCAA this season, and Ellie Massera holds it. She gets it done on the offensive end, but she also facilitates a ton of other opportunities at the draw control as well.
On the other side, for the Blue Hens, we'll key in on the sensational sophomore Delaney McDaniels, already the team's points leader.
Delaney McDaniel is the CAA Rookie of the Year last year, so she's taking that veteran energy into this season with 20 assists so far on the season, so she can definitely dish out some balls, finish the ball as well. I'm excited to watch her play today. A
new chapter here at Stony Brook University. First ever game as members of the Colonial. They'll look to make it 4 in a row against Delaware next on Lacrosse TV. We welcome you back to Laval Stadium. Stony Brook starting a new chapter in a very illustrious history with that man at the helm, Joe Spallina, in his 12th season, 179 wins, 34 losses in his time at Stony Brook. Kylie Oldmiller, you know a lot about it, joined him for a lot of those wins. But now a little bit of a new mix here, 60 consecutive wins to leave the America East, and now the CAA.
Yes, it's a new start. It's a new era for Stony Brook, some might say, but I think that Joe Spallina and his staff, as well as his team, have just the same exact goals as they did when we were in the America East as they head into the CAA starting today.
Glad you're with us here on Lacrosse TV. Stony Brook, fresh off their only loss this season, came against the number 3 team in the country at Northwestern, a 13-8 final. But that game, Kylie, all the way on last Friday, the most rest Stony Brook has had for any game this season. We noted they're going to be hungry. They don't play off of many losses over the last 10-plus years. So a tall task for a Delaware Blue Hens team that started the season looking pretty good, a 4-1 start. They've had some tough competition, 3 consecutive losses for Amy Altig's group. These coaches know each other well.
Yes, these coaches were 2 of the assistant coaches on the United States national team this past summer at the Women's World Championships, so they know each other well. They know each other's tactics well, but I know that they're just excited to see each other and match up today. This is Amy Altig's first time taking on Stony Brook at the helm of that Blue Hen squad right there, so I'm sure they are amped up to be here on Long Island. The stands are packed. Stony Brook just had a 7v7 youth tournament in their indoor facility this morning, and looks like every single team that participated brought their players out here to watch this game. So exciting to see in the stands.
You noted first time that Amy Altig has faced Stony Brook at the helm of Delaware, a 3-0 mark for Stony Brook all time against this program. 2018, last time these 2 teams met, a 20-8 final for Stony Brook. You were very involved in that action. Do you remember anything about that game?
I do. I remember it being very cold. That is what I remember.
Sounds par for the course.
It's actually quite surprising to see in March right now. The sun is shining on Long Island on the North Shore. There's not too much Under Armour going on out there underneath the jerseys. So it's exciting to see the sun shine out. A little bit of a warmer day today as compared to a couple years back.
And these 2 teams happy that this game is going as scheduled. Earlier this week, the men's team had a game pushed from Tuesday to Wednesday. Weather was not particularly good for that Wednesday afternoon game, but here, about as good as you're going to get for mid-March on Long Island. Joe Spallina's group ready to make a little bit of history here at Laval Stadium. They've already made plenty. They've won 32 consecutive games here. Second longest active home winning streak in NCAA women's lacrosse, only to North Carolina, in their first game as members of the Colonial Athletic Association. Draw control will be an important spot for tonight's game. It always is, but the Blue Hens rank at the top of the conference when it comes to draw controls per game and draw control percentage. Stony Brook's been better there of late, but if the Blue Hens want to put a little ripple into this first week in the CAA, they'll need to be good here at the center circle.
Danielle Livernice takes a lot of their draw controls at the X here. You can see her waiting for the game to start right there in the center circle. She does a great job on the draw control. She has 4.75 draw controls per game. That's 5th in the CAA. So whoever's looking to take those opening draws, which looks like it's going to be Charlotte Verhulst, the usual starter at the draw control for Stony Brook, it's going to be a great matchup here today.
Verhulst, the senior from Smithtown, almost everybody on this roster is going to be a local product for Joe Spallina's group. 141 career draw controls, 10th most in Stony Brook history. Verhulst in white for Stony Brook. Livernice in blue for Delaware. And for the first time in Stony Brook's program history, they will play a conference contest as members of the Colonial. Let's do it. Three-person officiating crew: Stephen Kaduba, Jen Holland, and Jill Strub-Pearsall. Body banging at the 50. And it goes to the Blue Hens. Just exactly what the doctor ordered for a Delaware team looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. And plenty of offensive options, 5 players that have at least 12 points already this season. Delaware fresh off a 13-6 loss against Denver, a team that is unblemished this season, 8-0. That game was on Tuesday, so not as fresh legs for Delaware as it is for Stony Brook. We told you the Seawolves 8 days between games. It's the most time they've had. Feed toward the front. Ball bouncing just outside the crease. And a free position shot upcoming here for UD.
Danielle Livernice is going to take the free position opportunity from that second inside hash over on the right side. They're going to call that a little bit of a hip check.
14 goals on the season for Livernice. Livernice shooting and missing wide. Careens off the padded wall behind the red painted end zone. Quick restart. And the ball in front. Battle up for grabs. Livernice was close. And Stony Brook will emerge.
Lindsay Rongo picking up that ground ball. Got a couple checks across the body, but which will give her a whistle and they'll restart. Heading up the field for the first clear for Stony Brook.
Seawolves, depending where you look this week, number 5 in the country. With that 4-1 mark, won their first 4 contests before the loss at Northwestern. Ellie Massera jitterbugging through the defense. Takes a knock from behind, picks it up, tries to split through a triple team. And the whistle will award possession back to Stony Brook. Good little poke from behind there by the Blue Hens defender, but Massera stayed with it.
2 free positions to start off this game, both from the same exact spot, just on opposing ends of the field.
Last year's America East Midfielder of the Year, Massera's in on call, and it's shut down. Mercy McCarthy, the grad student from Washington, D.C., is up to the task. And you could argue one of, if not the best player in the conference. So the Blue Hens, despite not doing much on their offensive possession, they win the first draw control. First save goes to McCarthy. And Amy Altig's group another opportunity, if they can clear here, to grab the first goal on Long Island.
Stony Brook sending a player to the goalie, Morgan Mitchell. Doing a bit of a hard ride there on McCarthy, making it just that much tougher for her to get the ball out of her cross.
McCarthy still dipping and diving here. Takes it out to the 20. A lot of handling there from McCarthy, ends up into the cross of Livernice. A more safe position there for Amy Altig's group.
Definitely worked for that clear.
Kara Grant escorts the ball into the offensive third. The Trumbull, Connecticut native sends it goal line extended to the near side. Only 20 seconds remaining on the possession clock. And after all the dancing at the other end by McCarthy. Down to 10 seconds. Interior feed to Livernice. Did wind up on goal. Don't think she got all of it. And Haley Duknowski safely takes it. The LIU transfer, who has really seamlessly transitioned to the other county here on Long Island. 7 saves last time out in the loss against Northwestern, season high.
Stony Brook did a really great job taking off a lot of clock on that possession clock on the other end with that ride. A lot of pressure on McCarthy here, who's now back on the other side looking for another save as Stony Brook sets up shop, trying to get a good look at this offense. As the last time down, they got right into a free position shot, so we're getting a real good look, first look at their offense here today.
2 teams that could score, but 3+ minutes deep. We got 2 goose eggs. Everything at the perimeter right now, just outside the fan for Stony Brook. Scoring 14 goals per game, it's tops in the conference. Sarah sprinting right. Kaylin Hart to the interior, low shot, it's off a boot, up into the air and grabbed by the defender Hoffman. And the Blue Hens are out with numbers. 2 big saves so far from McCarthy. The Blue Hens complete the clear. This is Grant again. And she'll play it back into her own end. Nearly 4 minutes gone by here in the first quarter, where Stony Brook has not lost on Long Island's North Shore in nearly 4 years. Third offensive possession for Amy Altick's group. And there's some room at the left wing. Told you a wide variety of options for Amy Altick's group. McDaniel, typically the facilitator. Last year set the freshman record for assists at Delaware. Does have 6 goals as well. Shot clock's down to 35. Ball on the turf. Picked up by the Blue Hens, an unsettled defense. And with some body banging, it's another free position shot coming up for the Blue Hens. Their second in the first 4.5 minutes. And a potential another test coming up for Haley Duchnowski.
Referees are going to take a little bit of a meeting about that call. Seemed as if the first referee motioned towards her ankle with her hand, which would I would assume would be a trip call. But Laurel McHale waiting at that center hash for the free position opportunity as they kind of chatted out. Making sure everything is set over here. So far, 5 minutes into the game. Couple shots on goal. 0-0 game. This is exciting.
Well, as it stands right now, it looks like it'll be Laurel McHale, the older of the 2 McHale sisters, lined up for this free position shot. Transfer from Bucknell, who did score at Denver, snapped a 5-game point streak, and the 2 officials at the bottom right corner of your screen are going to get together. And it does not look like we have a definitive decision yet.
Referees at the center line are bringing both coaches together, just kind of chatting about the call. And then they're going to run back out on the field. We're going to see what this final decision was.
Stephen Kudaba, Jen Holland, Jill Strubb-Pearsall. Here 3 in the black and white today. So it does look like it will be Laurel McHale. A chance to break the scoreless tie. She'll defer to the right. A third pass and the shot right on the doorstep, and Duchnowski is there to make the save. It's a big one. And Stony Brook looks to counter. Into the offensive third. Hampel dishes left, picked up by Macera. Angling toward goal, she gets whacked. Located immediately by the official, yellow card. Freshman mistake by Morgan Gore. And not easy to keep up with the likes of number 12 in white. It's been a great start to her collegiate campaign for Morgan Gore. Points in every game. Goals in 7 of 8. And now Stony Brook situated 10 meters out off the right wing.
Yellow card assistant Delaware, number 17.
And it'll be Ellie Macera.
2 minutes. Check that.
Getting a little bit of the right personnel in to take on these next 2 minutes of a woman up situation. See on this replay here, a little bit of an over-the-head check, and Stony Brook's going to settle into their woman-up offense here with a full, fresh 90 on the shot clock. Erin McQuarrie, Kaylin Hart, Jolie Creo, the trio of lefties over there on the left side for Stony Brook.
Well, a good recipe for the first goal for Stony Brook. Woman up, free position shot, Kaylin Hart. Had no points against Northwestern. Her shot here is shut down again. McCarthy squeezed the wickets. Got the cross down right between the legs. A potential big clear in the process here for Delaware, with still 95 seconds remaining on the woman up opportunity.
Right off of this free position, as you see here, this is the second shot that Kaylin Hart has taken low on Mercy McCarthy, and a second save for Mercy McCarthy. So we'll look to see if she'll switch that up the next time she gets a shot opportunity.
And how about the Blue Hens now into the offensive third? Playing a player down here for another minute and 15 seconds on the infraction by the freshman Morgan Gore.
They'll have to get a shot off as the shot clock is at about 52 seconds. So they'll definitely look to take off a bunch of this clock, this game clock, as that card settles down a little bit, but they definitely do have to get a shot off at some point before the possession clock goes down.
Feet to the front, quick stick shot, it's in. Delaware goes up on a woman down. UD 1-0.
Quick ball movement, down a player, just that quick cut on the inside by Mackenzie Didio. Cutting with her left hand up, and she kind of just catches that feed from the elbow, and that quick stick that goes from her top left corner into the bottom right corner of the net. That's really difficult for Haley Duchnowski to save. So kudos to Didio there on that cut and that finish. I think that was an incredibly smart play, especially to do a player down.
5th goal of the season for the freshman. It is a big one for Delaware. Still 53 seconds remaining. But Delaware goes up while down. One freshman a penalty, the other freshman makes up for it with a tally. And with 9:15 remaining in this first quarter, first blood goes to the team in blue.
Really exciting to see freshmen step up in those ways, especially for what's mostly a veteran team for Amy Altick's group.
It is another draw control win for the Blue Hens. Ellie Macera looked to have had it, but it was swiped by Sam Schelling. Blue Hens now with 35 seconds to kill. That's if they want to go back to level pegging. They've looked so good on the woman down. Delaware safely back into their office in this first quarter, left side of LaValle Stadium. Not a lot of offensive time for Joe Spallina's group. Again, 8 days of rest off their only loss of the season against number 3 Northwestern. Second straight loss for Stony Brook against the team in purple. 4-3 all time now. A drop recovered by Bazzi. Here is Rosa. Sydney Rosa, one of the team captains. This is Lizzie Chu, another captain. Good veteran presence here for the Blue Hens in their 4th season under Amy Altick. Amy Altick knows Joe Spallina well, assistant coaches together on Team USA. Almost leading toward another chance there in front of the net. It's picked up by Stony Brook. And with 8 minutes to play in this first quarter, we are back to level pegging. And on Stony Brook's woman up opportunity, Delaware gets the lone tally. Lindsay Rongo accepts the feed along the far side from her teammate Ella Whitehouse. Rongo accelerates into the offensive third. 4th opportunity for Stony Brook to find Twine. Doesn't usually take Joe Spallina's group this long to get into the scoring department. Morgan Mitchell scored the first goal of the game at Northwestern. In fact, she has 5 2-goal games in 5 games this season. Kira Achatella.
We've seen some good scoring opportunities so far, just haven't been picking their shot selection quite right. Mercy McCarthy's been all over those low shots so far.
Caitlin Hart, opportunity, she scores! Wave it off, no goal for Hart. And Delaware on the quick restart will look to counter. Stony Brook's first goal is not for Caitlin Hart.
Caitlin Hart on the kind of just tiptoed right into the crease there. She accelerated just a bit too fast as you watch this replay here. Kind of coming right through. She does a great job of protecting her stick for that back check, but as you see here, she kind of tiptoes right in, isn't able to kind of stop her momentum in time to stay outside of that crease. So we're going to stay with 0 goals on the board for Stony Brook.
Well, nearly 10 minutes deep. And credit to Blue Hens so far. Best way to keep Stony Brook off the board is possess on the left side of the field. They have for most of this first quarter. Creeping in ever so close. Ball is on the deck. Picked up by Stony Brook and safely in the cross of Haley Duchnowski, the keeper. Seawolves on the move, this time looking for a near side entry. Alexandra Fusco, the sophomore, trying to navigate through traffic. She gets some help from Erin McQuarrie. Levy into the corner for Hart. And now Stony Brook sets up shop, this time on the right side of LaValle Stadium. Fewer than 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter for the team that scores over 14 goals per game, fresh off their season low 8. They've got none so far, but another free position coming up for Stony Brook. We've seen a few of those on both sides so far.
A lot of free position opportunities so far. This one's for Hampel.
Hampel, who failed to score against Northwestern, distributes, and Achatella finishes. Great teamwork by Stony Brook. Although it came a little bit later than they anticipated, they get their first goal. We're tied with 5:47 remaining.
Sometimes that's all you need, right? Just to get the first one in the back of the net. Hampel with a really veteran move there. She sees her defender that really gets off the line quickly. So she kind of cuts back and looks for the pass rather than actually going in and trying to score that free position herself. I think that's a really veteran move, really heads up play. And Achatella getting on the board there. Great to see her coming back from an ACL injury. Really exciting, lots of hugs on the sideline as well. But just a great play overall by Stony Brook's offense. Really just, kind of Stony Brook culture right there. Just kind of to get them going. That's exactly what they wanted to do. And we'll see if they're able to keep it rolling from here on out.
Right, just the second appearance of the season for Achatella, who has been a staple of this lineup for the last couple seasons. And right, first few weeks of the season, you almost forget with all the Harts and the Maceras and the Mitchells and the Crayos that, oh yeah, they got Kira Achatella as well. So first goal of the season for Achatella, who had 11 goals 2 seasons ago. Stony Brook takes the draw control and an opportunity at their first lead. Claire Levy accelerates into the offensive zone. She has started every game since arriving at Stony Brook. Made her debut at #1 North Carolina in 2021. We always like to joke around, although it's true, she never played club lacrosse.
It's incredible. It's just the athleticism, the skill, the talent, in a sport that is mostly club all throughout your youth levels. It's really impressive to see and just goes to show how much passion she has for the game.
I hear a little jealousy maybe?
Not at all. Not at all. Just a really fun fact for Claire Levy.
45 seconds on the shot clock. Stony Brook move it around counterclockwise around that 12-meter fan. Macera charging, taking a few whacks. Shot sails wide, backed up by the Seawolves, now with 30 seconds to work with. They'll take it out of the near side corner in the red paint.
Another free position opportunity here. This one's going to be for Erin McQuarrie off the shooting space call. Seen a couple of these so far early on in this game, the shooting space outside the 8-meter. They wind up to shoot.
Hot start to the season for McQuarrie, looking to continue. Shot was altered from behind and missed wide. This is going to be Delaware's possession. And the Blue Hens survive another surge from Stony Brook. And more than 10 minutes into this first quarter, team picked to finish first in the CAA. That's just 1 goal. The sure-handed senior, Madison Haranica, brings it all the way into the offensive zone. And with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter, who will get that all-elusive goal number 2? Already the 9th game of the season for this Delaware team, kind of battle-tested. Just game number 6 for Stony Brook. Blue Hens are 4-4. Talked about the 4-1 start. They have lost 3 consecutive, but have played some pretty good competition. 7-goal loss against Denver last week. Quick stick shot, great setup, it won't go. Duchnowski got a piece.
Delaware's been doing a great job at sending those cutters through the middle of Stony Brook zone. The quick stick opportunities have also been fantastic. That one, I think, got a little bit of Duchnowski and also might have hit the pipe a little bit. Fusco's able to pick it up off the floor, and we're headed the other way.
Credit the netminders as well so far in this one. 4 saves for Duchnowski, 3 saves McCarthy. And we stay at a 1-1 tie. Now fewer than 3 minutes to go in this first quarter at Laval Stadium. Both teams hungry. Fresh off of losses. Macera spinning, looking for a lane, shooting and scoring. Individual effort from Ellie Macera for her 22nd goal of the season. And Stony Brook, 13 minutes into the contest, has their first lead.
Ellie Macera, as you said, individual effort here and just a really great heads-up play. She kind of like pulls back a little bit, looks up as if she's going to feed, and that gets Haranica to really step towards her stick, and that gives her the opportunity to re-dodge underneath the other way. Just a really veteran move, a really great way to stick with the dodge there for Macera and do what she does best. She really makes it look so easy.
Well, the anchor of Stony Brook's midfield and the preseason conference player of the year who hadn't played a conference game until today in the CAA has their first goal as a member of the CAA. 2-1 Stony Brook, 2:53 remaining in this first quarter. Back to the center circle. Delaware has won 2 out of the 3 draw controls. Up into the air, Verhulst reaching and grabbing one-handed. Being badgered on her way into the offensive zone. Sam Schelling providing the bops. And Stony Brook a chance to make it 3 consecutive. Remember, first goal went to Delaware. Stony Brook not only looking for their first conference win in their first conference game, it'd be win number 180 for Joe Spallina in his now 11-plus seasons at the helm for Stony Brook. Verhulst sent it to the far side, received by Hampel. Goes to work on the defender. Now it's at X. Caitlin Hart, goal line extended on the near side. Off for Verhulst, the rotation continues. 35 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Stony Brook inching closer. Everyone's getting a touch. The streaker, the shooter, and a save made by McCarthy. She robs Morgan Mitchell. New 60 for Stony Brook off the rebound. And Caitlin Hart is taken down. She will have another opportunity. The exact same one she had earlier in the quarter from 8 meters out along the right wing.
Mercy McCarthy in cage has been all over these low shots so far. Another one just before on Morgan Mitchell's shot.
Hart. Saved by McCarthy. Showing no mercy. Save number 5. Blue Hens look to counter. Final 90 seconds opening quarter. And a pass that goes awry at the 50-yard line. That was not the plan for Delaware. And they gift wrap it right back to Stony Brook. Both of these teams a little high in the turnover department last week. 16 for Stony Brook, 18 for Delaware. And again, both came in losses.
See Stony Brook really taking their time on their offensive sets so far early on in this game today. Kind of just trying to figure out Delaware's defense. Again, this has been a matchup that we haven't seen since a couple of years ago. So just trying to feel out what this player-to-player defense they're playing is, what kind of sets are going to work. You see a lot of touches happening on both sides of the ball.
Shot clock has been turned off. Stony Brook could essentially hold for the final take here. Game clock at 35.
A little bit of an inverted set here. Ellie Macera, the midfielder, back at X.
Indication from the nearest official. Looked like she took a cross up on the right shoulder. Not sure if the replay will give us the vantage point here. Either way, Macera is setting up for a free position shot. 8 meters out along the left wing. 4 free position goals this season. Macera in on goal. McCarthy does it again. It's save number 6. 20 seconds to go. Still time here for Stony Brook. Caitlin Hart possesses, gives it up McQuarrie. One more to Fusco. Around the arc, Verhulst. Into the far side corner, Hampel. 8 seconds. Hampel gets to work, can't see a lane. And a whistle. Free position shot again for Stony Brook. 4 seconds remaining. It's been a good possession for Joe Spallina's group. Will they come away with any fruits for their labor?
4 seconds on the game clock here. Morgan Mitchell has plenty of time for a free position opportunity. She just wants to make sure she releases it quick.
Best shot percentage on the team. This time it's a dish. The shot, it's saved. Perfect setup by Stony Brook. And McCarthy is en fuego. The entire team will greet their netminder after the first quarter.
See the pass from Morgan Mitchell, the cut from down low, Caitlin Hart. Mercy McCarthy has just been all over her shots so far today. She's done an incredible job.
7 saves in the first 15 minutes. Stony Brook leading a low-scoring contest 2-1. Second quarter action comes up next on Lacrosse TV. Second quarter action here at Laval Stadium on Long Island's North Shore. Glad you're with us on Lacrosse TV. She is Seawolves legend Kylie Ohlmiller. I'm Johnny Wincott. We had a legendary first quarter there. 15 minutes gone by. Stony Brook 2, Delaware 1, 7 saves for Mercy McCarthy.
Mercy McCarthy has just been standing on her head so far today. She has just been all over the saves, whether they're high shots, low shots, an inside fake and finish. She has just been kind of all over the crease and really has a number on a lot of these Stony Brook shooters. So we'll see if Stony Brook's able to adjust and just take a deep breath before they shoot, because they're getting a lot of good opportunities as they go. Sometimes that's just the answer. But kudos to Mercy McCarthy. She has just been making some really agile, really incredible stops so far today.
For perspective, we noted in the first quarter, Haley Duknowski is fresh off of her best game of the season in terms of saves, 7. Draw control number 6. More body banging just outside the 50-yard line, and the whistle will award it to Stony Brook on the effort of Heli Macera, the team's leader in draw controls. So first goal went to Delaware, the freshman Mackenzie Didio, and it took a little while for Stony Brook to kind of get their feet under them. Back-to-back what is right now unanswered tallies for Joe Spallina's group. Looking to get back into the win column here as Stony Brook has turned the page to a new chapter. After 20-plus seasons in the America East, it is game number 1 as members of the CAA. Not too shabby either in the America East, just something like 60-plus wins to end it. Nation's longest active conference winning streak in any college sport. 40 seconds gone by on the timer. Stony Brook content with moving the ball around right now in the back 15.
Really looking to do a little bit of clock management here. As you can see, have been really taking their time setting up their offense so far all through the first quarter. They've gotten their good looks, as we mentioned, but Mercy McCarthy doing a great job at locking in on the shots.
25 seconds, it's Macera, low shot, count it. Back-to-back tallies by Ellie Macera. And Stony Brook starting to find it, it's 3 in a row.
Both times Ellie Macera has been able to set up right where she likes to have the ball, right there on that high right elbow. You see Morgan Mitchell pass the ball over to her, set a little bit of a screen, and Ellie Macera is able to just kind of come over topside. She has so much speed and so much torque as she kind of turns and shoots the ball, and really just shooting smart. She does a great job there finishing that ball, but both times she's able to take the ball from that corner, she's scored on an individual effort.
You mentioned earlier 7 shots on goal per game, better than any player in the country. You have to imagine a lot of that is because of the shots she's able to get herself. Close quarter shots, and she buries most of the time. So just a minute plus into the second quarter, Stony Brook makes it 3-1. Their largest lead so far, and again after that first goal by the Blue Hens, all 3 have belonged to Stony Brook. Talk about the all-important center circle. Stony Brook's gotten better with each game. The Blue Hens right now, percentage-wise, best in the conference. It's been an even split so far, 3-3, and off a cross, Charlotte Verhulst has it. Little ping pong there for number 86. Great start to the season for the senior from Smithtown, who now has 143 draw controls in her Stony Brook career, 10th all-time.
Nice team effort there on the draw circle. Seemed as if it was batted down right into Charlotte Verhulst's stick. She's able to bring it into the offensive third. Again, just kind of settling into exactly what they want to see on offense here. Passing the ball around. Morgan Mitchell on the last possession was able to set that screen for Ellie on the corner. See a little bit of that same action from the lefties on this side.
Mitchell didn't get it off cleanly. And it winds up in the cross of McCarthy. Not the first time we've said that today. If it's a save, it's number 8. No lack of trying for Stony Brook. 13 shots, 11 of them on goal.
In the first quarter, if you're just joining us, we saw a ride from Stony Brook, a redefend from Stony Brook that lasted about 60 seconds, a full minute. Mercy McCarthy was running around with the ball and Morgan Mitchell was right on her. Wasted a lot of time on that shot clock. We've seen a great ride from both teams so far today.
Whistle here will briefly stop play. 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. You could hear some of that energy being generated from the Blue Hens bench just beneath us. They have not lacked much of anything in this game so far. First conference games of the season across the CAA. Busy day on the slate. All 8 teams in action. 2 games that have already gone final. And 1 more to get started here on Lacrosse TV. That'll be Drexel and Towson at 4 o'clock.
The CAA championship matchup from last season. Drexel winning that game in overtime. So it should be an exciting rematch.
1 minute remaining on the shot clock. Feed to the interior, did get there, but it was bopped out of the stick of Kira Grant. And here comes Stony Brook. Still Claire Levy. Dumped to the left for Hampel. She plays pass with Macera. Back for Hampel, turning, shooting. It won't go. McCarthy possesses again. Another Stony Brook surge that is stifled. And we stay at 3-1. Now it's Delaware's turn. Some end-to-end lacrosse here at LaFalle Stadium. Laurel McHale, the older of the 2 McHale sisters. We noted earlier the Bucknell transfer.
Looking for a little bit of that outside shooting space. Stony Brook's been able to grab a couple of those calls so far today. There's one.
Looks like it'll be Lizzie Yurchak. And it will be, yep, number 19. She will have that spot that was twice occupied by Kaylin Hart in the first quarter. 8 meters out along the right wing. She was the only Blue Hen to have a multi-point game against Denver. Yurchak shooting and scoring. A rocket shot from Lizzie Yurchak. 9th goal of the season. And the Stony Brook run ends at 3-0. It's a 3-2 game.
So right off of that shooting space call, Yurchak caught the ball on the initial play, gets her on the line.
Delaware goes
That's a
for
great
number
shot
19,
right there to that
Lizzie
far pipe. Seems as if she just kind of brought her stick up high and brought Haley Duchnowski off her pipe a little bit. She just got her to move her cross out of the way just a bit. So even though it's stick side, strong side, Yurchak was able to finish that just because she had a little bit of deception on the way that she went to set up the shot. So a great free position finish there by Lizzie Yurchak.
Yurchak now 7 free position goals on 9 opportunities. Best rate in the conference, top 10 in the country.
She's gonna head right back to the draw circle. She's part of the draw unit for Delaware here. You have Livernice at the draw taking spot, and you have Sam Schelling on the other side. Really athletic group, making up for a lot of those draw controls for Delaware.
Jaden Hampel first to find it. Another draw taker, a specialist for Stony Brook. She hits Macera in stride. Stony Brook looking for a quick answer, and it's flubbed off the side by Kaylin Hart. I don't know if McCarthy got a piece of that one. Good setup by Stony Brook. They'll retain on the near sideline. Quick restart from Charlotte Verholst. Little bump there. Official behind the play will make the call. Stops the clock with 10:30 remaining here in the first half.
Charlotte Verholst with a great hustle to the sideline there off of that reset. Looking to set up a little bit of their offense once more. See a bit of Ellie Macera back behind the cage. We've seen a little bit of this set so far today. Kaylin Hart on the drive.
Stifled 8 meters out, forcing her to backtrack. And Stony Brook will try the near side. Hampel into the corner for Verholst. Now it's Macera in the back 15. 40 seconds on the shot clock. Macera hits the streaker. No go. Another save by McCarthy. 9 first half saves by Mercy McCarthy.
Really nice stop there. That one looked like it was going right to the low corner, and she just kind of got a little bit of a kick save on it.
This is the same McCarthy who failed to make a save against Denver. Gave up 5 goals, played the first quarter before she was yanked. And it looks like she may be tested again in a moment. Free position opportunity coming up for Stony Brook, and it may be Charlotte Verholst.
Charlotte Verholst looks to catch the ball on the inside. You see their sticks just get tangled up for a little bit of an extra second. Lizzie Yurchak had her stick as a held cross there. So Charlotte Verholst on the center hash.
Points in every game this season. Verholst rips it home. Well, there's one McCarthy wasn't going to stop. Charlotte Verhulst continues her point scoring streak, won in every game this season. And Stony Brook has doubled up Delaware 4-2.
A beautiful shot there. That's a way to beat a goalie that has hot hands right now. Charlotte Verhulst just making a veteran play, going for that high bouncer. That's one of those shots that off of a free position especially, but also just in general as a shooter, if you bounce the ball before the goalie's feet, it's going to go right over their shoulders, whereas the usual bounce shots will go near their legs, which Mercy McCarthy has been all over with her kick saves and getting her stick nice and low very quickly today. So a great shot and a nice heads-up play by Charlotte Verhulst.
Verhulst, the senior from Smithtown, went to St. Anthony's High School. Had 7 points in her first 3 years at Stony Brook. She has 9 points this season in fewer than 6 completed games.
Jaden Hampel on the draw control for Stony Brook this time around. Things stay the same for Delaware.
3 consecutive draw control victories for Stony Brook. Looking to keep the good times rolling. Hampel makes it easy work. And Stony Brook right back into the offensive zone now on the left side of LaPel Stadium as we near the halfway marker of quarter number 2. Glad you're with us here on Lacrosse TV. She is Seawolves legend Kylie Ohlmiller. I'm Johnny Wincott. First Colonial games of the season, the first in the program's history for Stony Brook, and the 4th ever against Delaware. They have not lost against the Blue Hens. Stony Brook, the unanimous #1 of the 8-team preseason polls. Delaware checked in at #5. They did make the CAA tournament last year for the first time in 4 seasons. Hoping to get back there. Hampel backtracking, 12 meters out. Dishes left for Macera. Puts the moves on. Defended well, though, by the captain, Hronika.
Kaylin Hart's going to get another free position opportunity here. As you see this replay, Ellie Macera on the dodge sees a cutting Kaylin Hart from around the crease. She's going to go for the behind the back, and they're going to call that a cross-body check on the, I believe that's Morgan Gore for Delaware. But Kaylin Hart's going to set up shop on that second inside hash for a lefty shot.
Hart off the line, shot goes wide, and it rolls out of bounds just along the far side, backed up by Stony Brook. 30 seconds to work with for Joe Spallina's group, and a chance at goal number 5. Great effort so far by these Blue Hens of Delaware. Mitchell back into the corner. Hampel has a lane, spin dodge left, shot, Nicole. It's a jewel from Jaden, bottom right corner. And Stony Brook has their largest lead at 5-2.
Jaden does a great job here by taking this top side. You see the ball kind of spinning around, a little bit of one of those screens as well. She sees that top side slide coming to her right hand and switches, turns back to her left. That's a great example there for young players at home watching, why it's really important to have 2 strong hands so that you can go to it whenever you need to. That's a perfect spot for it right there, Jaden Hampel. She utilizes that left hand and is able to get a wide open shot.
10th goal of the season for the West Islip native, who failed to score any points, goals or assists, in the 13-8 loss against Northwestern. It's kind of a common theme with Stony Brook. Some of their heavy hitters did not get involved in that game. Again, against the #3 team in the country. Stony Brook, again, depending on where you look at the beginning of the week, #5 in the country. Talking CAA, Drexel also receiving some votes in the polls. And Towson, later this week, will head to Penn State, a ranked opponent there for another CAA team. Draw control, this one finally taken by the Blue Hens. Good effort by Danielle Livernice. 81 draw controls last year, the single season record at Delaware.
Delaware looking to get their personnel back on offense. It's been a little bit of possessions since they've had the ball on their offensive end. Just kind of working to get some touches, see what kind of cutters they're sending through the middle of the zone, getting the ball around the outside.
Well, they've only taken 6 shots. That's the bad news. The good news is all 6 have been on net. Some chaos in front of Duchnowski's crease. And I think it's going to work out in the Blue Hens' favor here.
Laurel McHale is going to take a free position shot from the very popular hash so far today on this field.
McHale, well defended, saved by Duchnowski. Wound up getting the shot off rather cleanly with defenders flanking her on either side. And here come the Seawolves. Verhulst is pumping down the seam. Has Macera to her left and feeds her. One more for Hampel. Unsettled defense. And another free position shot coming up. This one will be for Stony Brook. Left wing, Jaden Hampel. Second team All-America East last year. Hoping to be one of many Seawolves to receive a CAA accolade this year. She decides not to shoot. Stony Brook into the offense. Plenty of time to work with 70 seconds on the possession clock.
Smart play there by Jaden Hampel to pull this ball out and just kind of get everyone a touch, really work on their offensive sets.
Hart curls in from the corner. And another free position shot coming up. Not the first one today for Kaylin Hart.
And that's going to be Morgan Gore's second yellow card of the day.
Yellow card assessed to Delaware, number 17, Morgan Gore. Check to the head, 2 minutes.
So as they look to reset this free position here, Kaylin Hart's going to line up from the second inside hash.
7 shots, 6 on goal for Kaylin Hart already today. Nothing to show for it. She will pull out, hit Mitchell, off for Hampel, and Stony Brook back into the offense with a new shot clock.
Got the player up situation here with Morgan Gore sitting out.
And a costly error here for Stony Brook. The second time, and you just noted that Morgan Gore has taken a penalty. Still 90 seconds to kill off here, but Delaware scored the game's first goal shorthanded. Here comes Veronica. She is stripped from behind by Macera. 2 of the top players on the field at any given moment today. Veronica, the defensive captain, number 15 in blue. Ellie Macera, the midfield captain for Stony Brook, number 12. Good battle between those two.
Good battle. Veronica with the initial back check. And then Ellie Ellie with the initial back check, and Veronica able to kind of get a little bit of a swing in on her own. Stony Brook's going to get the ball back in their offensive end. They are a player up here, so they're looking to work the ball around the outside, find the right opportunity, and use a lot of that player up clock as well.
Stony Brook inching closer. Back 15. The red painted end zone. Hampel surveys her options, settles on Macera. Center point, it's Mitchell. Streaker is Hart. She's got room. The low shot is kept out again. 8 shots by Kaylin Hart. Reload won't go either. My goodness. Mercy McCarthy. Double-digit saves already. And we still have 5+ minutes until halftime. I think McCarthy doesn't let maybe just a few of those goals in. Stony Brook has a 8, maybe 9-2 advantage.
Really incredible shots there. Both of those were point-blank saves. Stony Brook just has to do a better job at just seeing the cage just for one more second, seeing around McCarthy, especially since she's been all over all of their shots so far today.
Blue Hen sniffing blood. And again, Delaware continuing to generate that energy from the bench below us. 1 goal makes it a 2-goal game. Great feed in front, and there's the tally. Didio does it again. Quick stick goal for Delaware. And they turn defense to offense. 5-3 game, 4.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Very similar to her last goal, just coming from the other side. She cuts down with her right hand. It's that catch and that quick stick finish for Didio. She's just finding a little bit of those seams on the backside of Stony Brook's defensive zone and she's able to have success off of those cuts, just catching some of her defenders, turning away towards the ball, and her teammates looking up for her, cutting down the middle.
Stony Brook 5, Delaware 3. And what a lacrosse game we have here today. You can imagine the frustration now for Caitlin Hart, who, according to the box score, has 8 shots in this first half, 7 on goal, and she has nothing to show for it. Now 13 saves listed for McCarthy, and more than 50% of them the victim, Caitlin Hart. Back to the center circle. The all-important possession, and it is taken by Delaware. Good work by Sam Schelling. And now an opportunity at Amy Altick's group. A tally here makes it a 1-goal game. 4 minutes before the break here on Long Island. On the first day of the conference season here in the Colonial. Two goals for Didio, 1 for Yurchek. Rosa, no harm done after dropping the ball, feeds it into the back 15. Receives it back at the 10-yard line along the far side. Revolves to the near side, here's Yurchek. Bad pass. They were looking for Rosa. Trying to go captain to captain. And Lizzie Chu sailed it over her teammate.
Seems as if that ball got stuck in the wrong corner of her stick. Sails out the backside. Achatella at the 50-yard line, looking to clear the ball up the other way for Stony Brook.
7th turnover on Delaware. Stony Brook's been pretty good on the offensive side, only 2 turnovers. But again, the play of McCarthy has changed this game. If you peer through some of the stats, you figure Stony Brook might have 8 or 9 goals. They've settled for 5. 33rd career game for McCarthy. You're within 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Less than 1 minute remaining on the possession clock. Hart is spinning. Can she finally find Twine? Oh yeah! Her 9th shot of the game. 8th on goal. And the first one to beat McCarthy. 6-3 Stony Brook.
A great adjustment by Hart, as you mentioned. McCarthy has just been, seems as if she studied Hart's shot for a while. So great job by Hart here, really being patient on the dodge. You see the inside roll. She does a great job at protecting her stick. And what she does a little bit differently on that one as compared to previous shots so far this game, she gets her eyes up on the cage a little bit sooner, and she's able to see where McCarthy's standing. She's able to see the net around her. She takes just a little bit of an extra second to see her shot rather than just shooting.
Is that a weight off your back as an attacking player? You have 8 shots, you're accurate, you're on goal, they're not going in, you finally get 1. Does that feel like now they're all going to start coming?
Listen, I think that's something that happens to all of us, right? There are days you can shoot for the top corner without even trying every single time you release the ball, and there are days where the goalie's got your number, and it's a great adjustment there by Caitlin Hart to be able to finally find the back of the net, do it before the first half is over, and help out our team by creating that 3-goal lead that they've been looking for the last 15 minutes of this quarter.
Draw control, number 11. Stony Brook's number 11 got involved. That was Jaden Hampel. And it's eventually scooped up by Stony Brook. Now it's out of bounds on the near side, and we've got an injury.
That's Stony Brook's Jordan Forte. We're going to hope that she's all right.
And Jordan Fort, who went down in a heap there. We'll try and provide you with another look at it as the training staff comes out. Joe Spallina there as well. With 2:36 remaining in the second quarter. And Stony Brook is 6-3 advantage. In fact, now they're going to try and back up some of the Blue Hens bench to get Ford all the attention that she needs, the sophomore midfielder from Huntington. We'll see if we can get another look here.
Can't quite see too much of the look there. Kind of happened right behind the referee, but it looks as if it was a bit of a misstep. And we're gonna hope that Jordan is all right. She's down. We've got the training staff there. We're gonna help her up, help her walk off the field, and we're going to send her our best wishes and hope it's not anything too serious.
So Fort being flanked on either side. And a good sign that it does look like she's able to put at least some weight on both of those legs. You worry at first, maybe something non-contact there along the sideline.
We're going to hope that that's not the case. Jordan Fort, a Long Island native, hoping that she's all right. She's done a great job stepping into a big role here for Stony Brook. A great kid, a great player. So we're going to send her our best from up here in the broadcast booth.
So we'll resume the action along the near sideline. 2:36 remaining in this first half. And the Blueheads still sniffing here. 3-goal game. And someone's losing streak will come to an end. Just 1 for Stony Brook, 3 for Delaware. Both teams started their season 4-1. That is Stony Brook's current record. Good recovery by the Blue Hens in the form of Kira Grant. And it's sent to the back 15, final 2 minutes, half number 1. 2 goals from Didio, 1 from Yurchak. Into the corner, and the ball was jarred loose. Looked like McDaniel lost it. We have not called on McDaniel's name very often in this first half. That's not the case for Charlotte Verhulst, who continues sprinting into the offensive zone. Verhulst still going, and McCarthy gets low to keep it out. Save number 14 here in the first half.
Great individual effort there by Verhulst. Picked up the ground ball and caused turnover on the other end. Full 100-yard sprint. Now we're going to get a look at Stony Brook's settled offense. Ellie Massera repping around the corner.
Massera, low shot and counted. Falling to the seat of her pants. It's a sidewinding tally for Ellie Massera. And in 6 games this season, Stony Brook's leading scorer now has 6 hat tricks.
Morgan Mitchell doing a great job off ball by setting those picks right down there on that corner there. You see her, she kind of gets in the way of Ellie Massera's defender just for a split second. That allows Ellie to accelerate through over the top side and get to where she wants to be, which is the middle of that 8. She is known for those side-winding shots. A lot of them she's put from low to low so far today, and you know, all 3 of them have gone in the back of the net. So a great play there by number 12.
Goals 22, 23, 24 here in the first half for the junior from Eastport. We've talked a lot about the 7 shots on goal per game, tops in the nation. She has 5 here in the first half. Final 89 seconds. Draw control, iteration number 12. Stony Brook has won it 6 times, Delaware 5. If the Blue Hens can scoop this up, we'll be even in that department. Big time push. Charlotte Verhulst getting involved in the action with Sam Schelling, the sophomore. 3-person officiating crew locates it though, and Stony Brook takes it in their 7th draw control victory. Massera works through 1 defender, around a 2nd defender. And she has earned herself a free position shot. Individual effort from number 12. And a chance at Stony Brook with 2 quick answers to try and take their largest lead of this game. Three of the 7 Stony Brook tallies have come courtesy of Ellie Massera. She pumps, she shoots and scores. Back-to-back tallies for Ellie Massera. Her 4th goal of the first half. And Stony Brook now starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with an 8-3 advantage.
Ellie Massera off the individual effort dodge. She gains the shooting space call for that center hash free position. And again, another one of those low-to-low shots that she decides. She looks like she's going to start with a running start off of her free position start there. And then kind of just stops her feet and goes for a little bit more of a step-down look, which I think threw Mercy McCarthy off of her stance just a bit.
Second time in this first half that Stony Brook has rattled off a 3-0 run. Of course, the last 2 provided by Ellie Massera. 55.1 ticks remaining, half number 1 here at LaValle Stadium. Stony Brook's first ever CAA contest. After going out in style in the America East, 8 consecutive America East championships. Likely would have been 9 if they were allowed to play in the postseason last year. 60 consecutive wins against America East opponents. And looking to keep the nation's longest active conference winning streak alive now as members of the Colonial. Physical play continues. Massera wanted the quick restart. Official says, hold your horses here. Still 40 seconds to play. Instead, Claire Levy restarts it to Mitchell. Now it's Hampel on the near sideline. Massera plays pass with Mitchell, Hampel. Shot clock is turned off. Stony Brook could hold for the final shot here. I feel like just a moment ago it was a 2-goal game, 5-3. The 3 consecutive by Stony Brook. And a chance at 4 in a row heading to the break. Here's Massera. Puts the moves on, angles toward the center. And she has drawn another free position shot.
And another yellow card there issued to Veronica for Delaware. As you take a look at this replay, it's going to be an over-the-head check. Veronica got a bit of Ellie's head on the drive there, on the swing. So Massera is going to get a free position opportunity with 8.9 seconds left on the shot, on the clock. They are also a player up.
3 straight goals by Stony Brook. The last 2 by Massera. She charges, she shoots and scores. But she stepped in the crease. And with 6.6 seconds remaining, wave off what would have been the 5th goal for Ellie Massera. And the Blue Hens will tick away at the final seconds here. Stony Brook 8, Delaware 3, but it very well could have been 9-3 or more than 9 if not for the play of McCarthy.
Mercy McCarthy has just stood out so much so far in this first half. She is keeping these Blue Hens in this game and keeping it nice and close. She's made an incredible amount of saves so far in one half of play. And Stony Brook's just starting to adjust to starting to get the ball around her thanks to the likes of Ellie Massera.
Yeah, 22 shots on goal in the first 30 minutes for Stony Brook, but only 8 tallies to show for it. Massera 4 of the 8 goals. Halftime here at Laval Stadium, a 5-goal cushion for Stony Brook over Delaware. We'll get you third quarter action coming up next right here on Lacrosse TV. We welcome you back to Laval Stadium, getting you set for half number 2 in the first Colonial Conference game of the season. Stony Brook 8, Delaware 3. You get a peek at Stony Brook's netminder, Haley Duchnowski. Good first halves for both netminders. A better first half, though, for Blue Hens keeper Mercy McCarthy. 14 saves in the first 30 minutes, and this after being yanked against Denver. No saves, 5 goals allowed.
She's had an incredible first half so far. I think we've talked about her the majority of the first half, Mercy McCarthy. She has just been seeing every single one of Stony Brook's shots, obviously other than the 8 that they've been able to score, but it's taken them a good amount of time to be able to settle into their shooting rhythm, be able to see around her. She's just been really athletic, really agile in her crease, and just really commanding a lot of these saves, keeping her team in this game.
And if not for a couple of big saves by Duchnowski as well, maybe a few more tallies for Delaware. So a lower scoring first half than we anticipated. With an 8-3 score, Stony Brook over Delaware. Blue Hens trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. Started the season 4-1, but losses against Georgetown by only 4, Niagara in overtime, and then the Denver contest by 7. Stony Brook, meanwhile, they won their first 4 games of the season, but lost 8 days ago, last Friday at Northwestern, 13-8. Stony Brook already 3-1 against top 25 opponents, so Delaware, one of the more rare teams so far on the schedule that is not ranked inside the top 25.
A rare start to this second half. As we come out of the break, we have 2 yellow cards that are currently sitting out on the sideline. We have Jaden Hampel on the Stony Brook side, who is sitting for the full 2 minutes, and we have 1:52 left for number 15, Madison Veronica, on Delaware's side. So both teams are playing a player down.
Charlotte Verhulst gobbles up the ball, a little spin move as well. Stony Brook in their home white uniforms attacking right here in the third quarter. A highly eventful first 30 minutes here. As Jaden Hampel gets to kind of put her feet up there, you just saw it. with the 2-minute infraction. So as you noted, kind of an unorthodox way to start a half. Stony Brook looking to pick up where they left off, though. 3 consecutive goals, their second 3-0 run of the contest.
For those of you watching at home, you're seeing a 6-on-6 offensive set, which you typically don't see in women's field lacrosse. You will see in men's field lacrosse. You'll also see on the professional and the international level for women's lacrosse as well, playing a 6-on-6 style. This just happens to be because of 2 yellow cards.
So still level pegging. A little less woman power. 15 meters out. Verhulst sends into the corner. Rotation keeps moving at X. Here is Macera, curling out, shooting, scoring! Goal number 5 for Ellie Macera, locating the top left corner. 4 consecutive for Stony Brook, their largest lead at 6.
Macera finding the back of the net and doing a lot of it from that bottom right corner, from that elbow, that low right side here. But I got to give a lot of this credit to Morgan Mitchell. She's been setting that screen right there that makes the defenders have to take a hesitation, take a look around and talk to each other. Maybe that little bit of miscommunication causes a bit of a pause for the defenders, where Ellie Macera is able to kind of come around topside. Her speed is one of her best attributes, and she's really able to use it because Morgan Mitchell is doing a great job at bringing her defender and herself in the way of Ellie Macera's defender. So kudos to a teammate. You saw them hug after that goal. I think they're working really well together in that spot today.
So 5 of the now 9 goals for Stony Brook, owned by Ellie Macera. Other 4 go to Jaden Hampel, Kira Achitella, Caitlin Hart, and Charlotte Verhulst. DC 15. Stony Brook has won 9 out of the first 14. We kind of keyed in on that area at the start of the broadcast, always important. But Delaware began this afternoon the top mark in terms of draw controls per game and percentage in the conference, but Charlotte Verhulst making it look easy. Another pluck and pirouette, and she is into the offensive third.
Charlotte Verhulst doing a lot of the little things right here today. She's been a bit all over the field, which has been great to see. She's got that 1 goal. She's been grabbing a bunch of those draw controls out of the center there. Had a couple caused turnovers and a bunch of full field runs up the midfield as well. So we've seen a great day out of Charlotte Verhulst so far.
And even with 5 of the 9 coming from Ellie Macera, you get a sense everyone's kind of got involved in the action. Whether it be distributing, setting the picks like you talked about for Mitchell. Everyone kind of getting a piece of the pie here for Stony Brook, a team that only scored 8 goals against Northwestern. And even with all the saves today from McCarthy, all 14 of them, 9 goals for Stony Brook. We are back to level pegging. All penalties have been released as Stony Brook searches for double digits here in quarter number 3. Feed to the front, just off the cross of Verhulst, and it's scooped up by Veronica. First team All-CAA. In fact, was the first Blue Hen to be a first team All-CAAer in 3 years. Veronica, one of 3 team captains for Amy Altig, now in her 4th season in Newark. With a 12-24 mark. We told you, 4th all-time meeting between Stony Brook and Delaware, but it's the first time that Altig has been at the helm for one of those meetings. 1 minute remaining on the shot clock. Blue Hens in search of goal number 4.
Seeing Jaden Donnelly on defense there for Stony Brook. Alex Fusco, Avery Hines.
Out of bounds on the near side. First rolling was Stony Brook ball. Now the officials are going to get together. Amy Altig and staff were a bit perturbed that that was not considered Blue Hens possession. Just based on some body language there, it looked like Stony Brook was ready to retreat before that call was made in favor of Stony Brook. So we might get a switch here. Or we won't.
Original call will stay.
Stony Brook happy to take it. Any way they can get it. Lindsay Rongo in the back end, number 27, sprinting along that far side. Kylie just mentioned some of the other faces on the defensive end today. I've not seen Haley Dillon, the always sure-handed grad student. It is a 4-0 blitz for Stony Brook, dating back to the end of the second quarter. A 5-3 lead has turned 9-3. And they are content here with slowing things down. Time and the lead on their side.
Definitely looking for the right opportunity at the right time, wasting some game clock, making sure everybody's getting some touches, making sure they're getting the right personnel on the fields. Then they'll get into their offense, as you can see here, Charlotte Verhulst on the start.
30 seconds to work with, a little more hop in their step now. Kaylin Hart already with a tally. Looking for a lane. Dishes off 10 meters out. Mitchell surveying. Stop and go. Shot clock down at 20. Mitchell feet to the front between the legs. Ellie Macera's done it again. It is a highlight reel tally. And goal number 6 for Ellie Macera. It's her second hat trick today.
All smiles here on this one. You see Morgan Mitchell. Eyes are up, catch, immediate release right between the legs there. I thought she was going to go over the shoulder, a little bit behind the back action, but you got to have a little bit of that there from number 12. The great thing about that is you see that one time out of their entire careers, right? You might see that one time for Ellie Macera's entire career, but her Stony Brook teammates probably see that every single day. And that's what I think is so special about those kinds of things. There's an opportunity, there's a time and a place to be able to showcase your stick skills, showcase the things you've been practicing, and the opportunity to beat a goalie that's been all over the hands of your normal shots all day long. So a great finish there by Ellie Macera.
So now 60% of the Stony Brook offense has come courtesy of number 12. 27 goals with 5 helpers on the season. And Stony Brook starting to flex their number 5 muscles. 5 consecutive goals for Joe Spallini's group. And still plenty of time left to be played here in the second half, fewer than 5 minutes deep into this third quarter. Ball flung to the left, but it's right into a Stony Brook cross. Claire Levy. And if the Seawolves hadn't found it at the end of quarter number 2, they have certainly found it here at the beginning of quarter number 3.
Starting to definitely get into the swing of things. Looks more like a normal Stony Brook team here. Kind of a little bit more energy, a little bit more adrenaline. Goes to show you there was definitely some motivational talk in the locker room at halftime. And most of that, you know, a lot of that comes from the coaches, but a lot of it will probably come from these veteran players as well. Really, you know, kind of getting the energy up and turning things around. You're seeing they're playing, like you said, with a little bit more of a pep in their step.
Like Hampel may have gotten hit up in the face area. As well in that previous sequence, I think that ball hit off of Claire Levy's noggin before rolling toward Hampel. And yeah, there's the poke from Dickens, the senior.
Yellow card assessed to Delaware, number 9, May Dickens.
And it will be a yellow card. 2 minutes for a hit to the head. Another captain, May Dickens, playing in her 29th career game today. And Stony Brook goes on the woman up, but we've already seen in this game, the 2 times Stony Brook went on the quote-unquote power play, seemed like an advantage for the Blue Hens.
Both times we've seen it cause turnover from the defensive end on Delaware. First time of the game, we actually saw them score a player down.
Stony Brook quick to it, the streaker, Charlotte Verhulst couldn't put it down. Low shot that bounced over the cage, and the Blue Hens take over. Still have a minute 45 to kill off, but it's a good start for Amy Altig's group. Emma Hoffman does some of the dirty work right down the seam. It's going to stay with Delaware right at Wolfie. Clock still ticking.
Delaware definitely looking to shave off a little bit of this penalty clock here. They've done a great job so far in this game, really moving the ball quickly. Not too many of their players have been big-time dodgers against this zone. I think that's the most successful way to beat a zone and find some opportunities at the cage is to keep the ball moving, see different opportunities from different players, look for the cutters. They've done a great job of it so far, and they are a player down right now, still continuing to move the ball.
20-second difference between game and shot clock, or rather power play and shot clock. So the Blue Hens can't hold it the entire time without giving it back to Stony Brook. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Poor pass, and it's intercepted by Levy. She is a blur across the middle of the field for Stony Brook. With numbers, Levy surveys, decides on Macera. Still 15 seconds on the advantage. Feed to the doorstep. Kaylin Hart roofs it. Second goal of the game for Kaylin Hart. It is 6 consecutive by Stony Brook.
All starts with Claire Levy there on the pickoff on the other end. Really athletic play, doing what she does best. She passes out to Captain Ellie Macera. And you see Kaylin Hart down low, seeing that opportunity, noticing that her defender is kind of coming across the front side of the crease and not keeping up with her along the backside. So she streaks right from X, uses her speed for that cut, calls for the ball right away, and comes around topside. She's got the momentum over her defender's top side. So she was able to utilize her infamous low to high riser shot on that one.
Well, it took her 9 shots to get her first goal, 8 being on goal. Now it's 10 shots with 9 on goal. Still only 2 tallies for Kaylin Hart. It's been that kind of afternoon for Mercy McCarthy. But Stony Brook starting to flex their muscles here. 7:55 remaining in the third quarter. They are 2 tallies away from a running clock. Still 12 seconds remaining on the penalty. Verhulst makes it another. It's off for Macera. Still time here for Stony Brook on the advantage. Dickens has been released. Level pegging. Dickens back into your screen. And Stony Brook will keep the rotation going around the 12-meter fan. 2 goals for Kaylin Hart. She possesses. Goal line extended on the near side. McQuarrie keeps it moving for Verhulst, who has been nearly perfect at the draw control today.
See Lexi Correa out there for Stony Brook, getting some time after a little bit of an injury. Kira Achatella back out there. A lot of Seawolves getting a lot of different looks here in this game.
"30 seconds to work with." The entire bench lets them know. Feed to the interior, received the turn and shot. Is saved by McCarthy. Achatella did not get all of it. Was kind of taking a bump as she got the shot off. But credit McCarthy with another save. It's 15. Blue Hens try and counter the other way. And a pass goes awry, miscommunication. A turnover on UD. Goes back to Stony Brook, the 11th offensive blunder by Amy Altick's group.
A nice back check there on the ride from Ellie Macera. Just got a little bit of a piece of it as the Delaware player was looking to kind of reach her hands back and throw that ball for a long pass.
Wide open, Fusco. She scores. Alexandra Fusco unmarked and behind the defense. It's her 4th goal of the season, but her first in 2 weeks, and a timeout Delaware.
Jaden Hample with her eyes up, and Alex Fusco just taking advantage of a defense that is not necessarily settled or paying attention to how quickly that she's got her head up there. Alex Fusco, a great heads up play, cutting right down the middle, and a nice finish.
7 straight from Stony Brook. We will take the timeout with the University of Delaware. Final 6:04, third quarter comes next, right here on Lacrosse TV. The Seawolves surge continues here. 6:04 remaining in the third quarter. 7 consecutive goals by Stony Brook. A 12-3 advantage. Yacho knows highest active win percentage of any Division I lacrosse coach. 61-2 against America East opponents. Stony Brook starts a new chapter today in the Colonial, looking to go 1-0.
Definitely a new era for Stony Brook, heading into a different conference this year. I know the coaching staff, including Joe, his staff of Sydney Pareca, Greg Michelli, Christina Esposito, all excited to be in this conference and start a new time period for Stony Brook. Obviously seeing some great competition so far today in UD. It's been exciting to watch, so I'm excited to see some matchups that Stony Brook hasn't seen in the past before, including heading over to Elon in just a few weeks.
Can't forget that next game, though, for Stony Brook. Midweek up at the Carrier Dome against number 2 Syracuse. We'll talk about that game in a little bit, but it'll be an 8 p.m. start, and it'll be on your television on ESPNU. For now, let's do a draw control for the 18th time this afternoon. And for the 13th time, Stony Brook emerges the victor. Claire Levy turns on the Jets. Claire Levy still going. Levy shooting, and McCarthy shuts her down. It would have been her first goal of the season. Instead, it looks like a Blue Hens counter, trying to avoid a double-digit deficit, which would mean a rolling clock here at LaValle Stadium.
A nice save on the other end there by McCarthy. She has been all over those low shots. Stony Brook's going to get called for an offsides infraction here, so that's going to be a reset to a full 90 seconds of the shot clock for Delaware's offense here to work with.
16 saves now total for McCarthy. Tuknowski won't be needed on this possession. Ella Whitehouse emerges for Stony Brook, has become a critical back-end piece for Joe Spallina's group. Second team All-America East last season. Rambunctious crowd here on a Saturday afternoon on Long Island.
Seawolves fans love to be here when it's sunny out in March.
Love to be here when it's 12-3. Stony Brook looking for their 33rd consecutive win at this field. Got to go back to March of 2019. They lost against Florida. They have not lost on Long Island's North Shore since. 60 consecutive wins in conference play. That, of course, dates back to the America East days. Looking to go 1 out of 1 here in the Colonial. Chance at an 8th consecutive goal for Joe Spallina's group. Ali Macera still out there with some of the heavy hitters. 6 goals already.
Seen a lot from Morgan Mitchell and Ellie Macera working together on that far wing. You're going to see Kaylin Hart and Erin McQuarrie doing the same on the far side.
McQuarrie grinding, dishing. Macera will motor behind the net at X. And turn and shoot and score. Unbelievable individual effort by Ellie Macera. Make it 7. And maybe none better.
Looking for a little bit of her usual take there, coming from that top right corner all the way across. You see some slides, and you see this pressure from Veronica kind of just dip off a little bit of a miscommunication as Ellie Macera goes behind the cage. And they're not quite sure who's going to step up. So Macera, being the heads-up player that she is, sees that little bit of hesitation from the defenders and is able to fake and finish before she even crosses goal line extended. Really nice deception there on the finish.
First double-digit lead for Stony Brook on the backs of this 8-0 blitz. So the clock will continue to roll until Delaware is able to make it a single-digit affair. Ellie Macera 7, Delaware 3. Draw control, Levy first to it, spins off a body, and Stony Brook right back into their office. Final 3 minutes, third quarter. Quick restart here, Levy took a bump. And 7 of the 13 tallies provided by Ellie Macera. Started the afternoon with 21 goals, averaging 4.2 per game, top 15 in the country. Feed to the front, it's off the bar for Levy. A tough 2-shot sequence for Claire Levy, who had one saved by McCarthy a moment ago. This one got iron.
Gonna keep her on the offensive end here. Let her get some offensive reps. a defensive player that's able to handle the ball as well as Levy. I think that's really important for young players to watch.
Great pass. Achatella can't put it down. Looked like the defender got in the way. Blue Hens survive another possession. No ill will there from Kira Achatella, who will help Kira Grant to her feet and retrieve her lacrosse stick in the process. Clock has stopped here briefly.
Achatella will get a yellow card for the cross check to the head there. So Stony Brook will be a player down for the next 2 minutes, unless Delaware is able to capitalize on this possession here.
I credit both of these offenses today. They've been accurate. Stony Brook 35 shots, 29 of them on goal. All 8 Blue Hen shots have hit the cage. The only tallies have gone to Joe Spallina's group. Blue Hen sniffing blood here, 12 meters out. Sydney Rosa plays it into the left corner. Around the net at X. Good movement here for the Blue Hen. Shot on goal, it's in goal. 6th goal of the season for Jenna McHale. And it stops the bleeding of sorts for the Blue Hens. Back to a 9-goal game. No running clock with 1:23 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Jenna McHale off the catch here. You see her up top. And Alex Fusco is sliding to her, and she gives her that little bit of a hitch there that kind of just helps her slide to her body, and she's able to kind of come across topside. She's fired up about that one. That was a beautiful shot to the top corner off of that lefty drive from Jenna McHale.
So the McHale sisters have made their presence known. Jenna, the junior. Laurel, the grad student, transfer from Bucknell. Their dad, Joe, played football at the University of Delaware. A little cup of coffee with the Jets and the Patriots in the 1987 season. Maggie Farragher will take her turn at the draw control. Number 28 in blue and yellow. Quick whistle.
We're gonna get another yellow card here on Sam Schelling on the draw circle there as the ball was going up. She came over the top. It looked as if her stick hit the head of Claire Levy. So Stony Brook's gonna be a player up for 2 more minutes here. Claire Levy's gonna start with the ball back near the draw circle.
So a 2-minute power play with only 1:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. If Stony Brook does not score in the final minute 20, that'll carry over into the beginning of the 4th. And it looks like Joe Spallina wants to talk things over here with the 9-goal cushion. Final 70 seconds of the 3rd quarter. And we'll try and draw something up, make this power play useful here at the end of the 3rd.
Definitely. I think we've seen a couple of fouls. We've seen a couple of yellow cards, a little bit of back and forth. And the last goal out was from Jenna McHale on Delaware. So I think Spallina's just looking to bring his crew in and say, we have just a little bit less than a full shot clock. Let's make sure we can utilize that full shot clock as a player-up opportunity and find the layup, right? He always used to say that. I think that's important as well when you're playing player-up. You don't want to be forcing things on offense. We don't want to be looking for the drive or the dodge. We want to be utilizing, finding the open player, keeping our eyes up, moving the ball quickly. And these are probably things he's saying in there because I've been in that huddle before. So, but yes, I think it's really important to take that into, especially these end of game situations, right? This might not be a 1-goal game, but this is great practice for those situations that, hey, you never know. They might be in this situation next week with Syracuse. They might be in a 1-goal game with 1 minute left on the clock and they've got the ball. How do you handle those situations? And he's probably talking about those kinds of things right there in maintaining possession of the ball.
Seawolves 16 minutes and 10 seconds of regulation time from what'll be their 33rd straight home win. Second longest active home winning streak in the country, only to North Carolina's 39. But again, we noted Joe Spallina's crew going to hit the road for a big one midweek Wednesday at number 2 Syracuse. Game that'll be at 8 p.m. prime time on ESPNU. Still, as we noted, those 16-plus minutes here on this beautiful Saturday evening on Long Island's North Shore. And Joe Spallina, always dressed to the nines. Look good, play good.
First time we've been able to see the full suit so far. He was able to take off the pea coat because it is a little bit sunnier, a little bit warmer here. We are still in March, so we'll be seeing a lot of that going into April and May from Joe Spallina.
Another new wrinkle now at Stony Brook going out to play Syracuse Wednesday. One of the newest stars of the Syracuse men's team just happens to be Joe Spallina's son, Joey. So Joe has become fairly acclimated to the Salt City over the last few months.
It's been fun to watch Joey shine. I've known him since he was just a kid and a fan of Stony Brook women's lacrosse, so excited to see him doing his thing up at the Dome.
Final minute, third quarter, Stony Brook on the advantage. And they'll have it for another 90 seconds. The draw control violation on Sam Schelling. Everything 12 meters out, Verhul straight on. Deposits for McQuarrie, now it's Hart, one more to the corner. Creo at X. Pass to the front for Mitchell, the streaker wasn't there. Ball on the deck and scooped up safely by Jaden Hampel. 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Creo sees a lane, shoots and scores. Jolie Creo has her first of the contest. It is back to a 10-goal game for Stony Brook, and points now in 4 straight for one of the newest Seawolves.
Clock is going to be running now as we head into the last 10 seconds. See this quick ball movement here, and you see this gap between these two defenders in this player-up situation. Jolie Creo is able to see it. She's looking to kind of draw one of them, and neither of them decide to step up to her, so she's able to finish the shot.
5th goal of the season by Jolie Creo brings us to the end of the third quarter. Rolling clock with a 10-goal cushion for Stony Brook, 14-4. Joe Spallina's group 15 minutes away from going 1-for-1 in Colonial. We're back next with fourth quarter action on Lacrosse TV. Ready for quarter number 4 here at Laval Stadium. Stony Brook sitting pretty in their first ever Colonial Conference game. 14-4 your score here on Lacrosse TV. Glad you're with us. She's Seawolves legend Kylie Ohlmiller. I'm Johnny Wincott. Good start to the contest and pretty even first half, 5-3. Stony Brook puts their foot on the gas pedal early in the third quarter, and on the 14-4 advantage, 15 minutes put up on the fourth quarter clock, and Jaden Hampel back to the center circle for the Seawolves.
People always say lacrosse is a game of momentum runs, and I think that we saw a lot of momentum going into this game, a lot of excitement for the Delaware team. They came out really strong in the first half, and I think Stony Brook was a little bit slow to get started this game, but they've started to put their foot on the gas pedal and do Stony Brook things as you head into this second half. So we'll see how we're able to finish off this quarter.
Still 40 seconds remaining on a 2-minute penalty to Sam Schelling. So Stony Brook has the man advantage at the moment. And the draw control, per usual, scooped up on a couple of bounces by Claire Levy, and she will jet immediately into the offensive zone. Stony Brook.
From Jolie the other way.
Sam Schelling shoots and scores. Schelling goes from off the bench and into the score sheet. She committed the penalty and makes up for it in a big way.
Second time that Delaware was able to capitalize. Being a player down today in this game. Again, as you mentioned, just as the clock was expiring on her yellow card, she's able to kind of come right out of the box and put the Jets on and finish. A really exciting one for the Delaware bench. The entire team erupted in cheers for her. And we're back to a game with no running clock, cutting the lead to 9.
Second goal of the season for the sophomore from Suffern. Shelling one of 7 Blue Hens to start all 9 games this season. And has been a key cog for Delaware, again, just a sophomore. So only about a season and a half in the blue and gold. And we go back to the center circle.
Referees making sure that this draw control is going to go exactly where it needs to go. And even though we took some time on that one, it'll still be an alternating possession. That's so important in the women's game, though, to make sure that that ball is set up correctly between the 2 draw takers' sticks so that both teams have a fair advantage as when the ball goes up in the air, that the ball will go above both players' shoulders into the air so that both teams have that fair advantage of where it will go. That one, as you saw, went to the ground. And that's why it was an alternating possession in Stony Brook ball.
How about 7 draw controls today for Charlotte Verhulst. Jaden Hampel has gotten involved as well with a couple of wins. And Stony Brook has dominated the center circle. Part of the reason why they've got a 9-goal advantage. Looking for number 15, a great pass behind the back shot. Count it for Kaylin Hart. It's a hat trick for number 14.
Beautiful lefty to lefty give and go there. Jolie Creo behind the cage with her eyes up right off that catch. See her driving up here, and Kaylin Hart just sees her defender take a little bit of a slide, that backdoor cut, and she's able to finish behind her head there before the sliding defender comes from the post. As she comes across, sometimes you lose your angle, and that's the spot where you have to throw that shot behind your back. Kaylin Hart's done it plenty of times, so she utilizes that opportunity to make sure that ball goes in the back of the net there.
So from behind the net to behind the back, Kaylin Hart, who found herself on SportsCenter's top 10 a bevy of times during her freshman season. It is just another day at the office for the Stony Brook offense. We have seen a handful of highlight reel goals today. Ellie Macera has 7 of the 15 for Stony Brook. Back to a 10-goal lead. The clock continues to tick 3 minutes deep into the 4th quarter. Delaware gets a full week of rest after this one before they will take on one of the CAA newcomers, Monmouth. A 12 p.m. start next Saturday back in Newark. Draw control win for Jaden Hampel, her 3rd. Talked about for Stony Brook, not a ton of rest, just 4 days before the midweek matchup up in Syracuse. We'll call it just the Dome. Not named what it used to be. As things stand right now, Stony Brook, the number 5 team in the country. And again, it always depends where you look, but Syracuse, consensus number 2 team. That'll be a big-time midweek matchup. Again, a Stony Brook team that just played the number 3 team in the country last Friday in Northwestern, a 13-8 loss. Great feed to the front. Charlotte Verhulst deposits. And Stony Brook starting to make it look easy here in quarter number 4. Second goal of the game for Verhulst.
A beautiful feed from behind the cage, right to Charlotte Verhulst, who does a little bit of what Delaware was doing such a great job at earlier on in the game, which was that quick stick goal. So you see here Jolie Creo with a little bit of an off-stick catch, a nice handle there, and her eyes are right up to Charlotte Verhulst, who's able to tiptoe around that crease after a quick stick finish. She's having a great day today.
She's having a great season so far. I kind of told you the situation earlier. Only 7 points in the first 3 seasons. She's got 10 points already this year. And Stony Brook's going to make a goaltender change here. Haley Duchnowski out and Aaliyah Jones in. The junior netminder from Austin, Texas. Duchnowski, number 40. Of course, you're a goalkeeper, right? You want to play every minute of every game. That's probably one of the only good times where you can get yanked from a game and go to the bench and still have a smile. Verhulst got yanked from behind, but Stony Brook's going to keep possession. There is a lot of physical play going on right now between Charlotte Verhulst and Sophia Murray. And the official nearest to the play, although both ladies may have been going at each other, they always get the one who did it last. It was Sophia Murray. And another penalty forthcoming here on Delaware.
So you see this replay here after Charlotte Verhulst passes the ball away. Just a bit of a frustration swing there. She'll get caught by the official that was standing right there. It'll be a player-up opportunity for Stony Brook, who in penalties past in this game have been looking to kind of get the ball around, get everybody some touches on the ball, find those open seams in the defense, and really take advantage of those seams by attacking them. Look for the easiest opportunity. Don't want to force anything and take off a little bit of game clock as well.
7 different goal scorers today for Stony Brook. Ellie Macera with 7 out of the 16. Hampel 12 meters out. Stony Brook keeps it moving leftward. Goal line extended near side. Mitchell sends it to X. Creo keeps it moving. Seawolves looking for a lane or an opening in this man-down defense right now for the Blue Hens. Stony Brook has now completed 2 rotations around the circle. Here is Verhulst, most recent goal scorer, 2 in the contest. 40 seconds gone by in the penalty. Stony Brook inching closer. Hart couldn't find a lane, deposit center point Verhulst. Macera right to the front, around the back again. Kaylin Hart can't stop. It's her 4th of the contest, back-to-back behind the back for number 14.
I think she might have heard us talking about how she couldn't really quite finish a lot of those normal shots, so she's been cutting across the middle, and as she loses that angle, her behind-the-back shots have been going to those top corners right away. So she's able to finish however she needs to finish. Kaylin Hart, Sports Center top 10. We saw an Ellie Macera Sports Center top 10. Hopefully we get one of them up on Sports Center sometime this evening.
Well, how's this for a Kaylin Hart nugget? 4 consecutive shots have gone in. She has 4 goals today. Her first 8 shots, 7 of them were on goal, none of them went in. That's when Mercy McCarthy was standing on her head.
I think she heard us up here.
And Kaylin Hart and a Seawolves team as a whole, we talked about, you knew they'd be hungry after, for this program, what's become a rare loss last week against Northwestern. But Kaylin Hart, one of a handful of heavy hitters who had no points in that game. It's the first time this season that Hart failed to score a point in 5 games. So now for the 5th time in 6 games, she has at least 4 points. Halfway through quarter number 4, Blue Hens searching for an answer. Really good first half by Amy Altig's group. You almost felt like anyone's game, and again, a lot of that was courtesy of Mercy McCarthy. But Stony Brook started to find it and flex with it in the 3rd quarter.
Even strength here for the Blue Hens as they get their 7th offensive player.
The takeaway and pickup by the younger sister of Ellie Macera, Allie Macera. Yeah, there's more than one.
Big time pickup, Jaden Donnelly looking to clear the ball at the 50-yard line.
By the way, 3 Macera sisters playing Division I lacrosse. 2 that happen to be here on Long Island, but all 3 in the Empire State. 6:30 to play. Whistle and a violation, but the clock's going to continue to roll with this 12-goal cushion for Stony Brook.
Offsides violation there for Delaware, so Stony Brook's going to get a full 90-second shot clock to work with on this offensive end.
Delaware, one of 7 teams on Stony Brook's schedule this season that the Seawolves have never lost to in their program history. Against Michigan, San Diego State, Delaware, Drexel, Monmouth, Rutgers, and Towson. Stony Brook is a combined 26-0. You noted some of the opponents that they haven't seen yet. Next week, they'll battle Elon for the first time in program history. but just a mark of how this team has not only dominated in the America East, they've dominated almost everywhere. 4 NCAA quarterfinal trips over the last 5 seasons. 12 meters out, straight on Achatella. Joe Spallina's group keeps it moving with 5:20 to play in the contest, well on their way to their first CAA victory in as many tries. Mitchell, off to the right, Achatella.
Really taking their time with this possession here, looking to see where the opening's gonna be. Seeing a lot of off-ball picks and movement. As the ball swings over to Achatella.
She's got room, she shoots and scores. Not many goals scored on McCarthy like that this afternoon. Kira Achatella had space, she takes advantage. Target practice for number 1 as Stony Brook takes a 13-goal advantage.
Nice movement off. You see a little bit of a double team stepping up. That early slide to Ellie Macera, you have to honor that. She's got 7 goals in today's contest. And Achatella has had a couple of nice looks off some cuts earlier today. She hasn't been able to capitalize, but she's all smiles there as she catches that one and realizes she's wide open for that step-down shot.
You mentioned it before, the return from injury for Kira Achatella. Just her 2nd game of the season. It's now a multi-goal performance after scoring just 1 goal last season. Stony Brook has won 19 out of the 25 draw controls. 8 of the 19 wins have come courtesy of Charlotte Verhulst. Looking to take another one. Battle continues. Levy is there battling Schelling. And it goes with the Blue Hens. Delaware offense hoping they are not done just yet. 2 goals so far in the second half. What has historically been one of the top defenses in the country in terms of goals per game allowed. Stony Brook sitting 13th best in the NCAA. They are tops in the conference.
Stony Brook's going to get called for a 3 seconds violation here. That'll be Mackenzie Mitchell down on the low post, getting caught inside the 8-meter arc. A 3 seconds call for those of you at home is 3 seconds inside the 8 unmarked.
Chance for the Blue Hens, and they make good on it. It's the senior captain, Lizzie Chu. Failed to score against Denver and gets the Blue Hens on the board here in the 4th quarter. 14th goal of the season.
Off of the free position rip here, she's gonna take the center hash, and a quick start off the line. She goes for that top shelf there. That was a beautiful shot there by Lizzie Chu.
Not an easy way to acclimate yourself into the cage for Leah Jones, who replaced Haley Duknowski a few moments ago. Clock continues to move though with the 12-goal advantage for Stony Brook. They are 2+ minutes away from moving to 1-0 in the Colonial Athletic Association and keeping active the longest conference winning streak in college sports.
Jaden Hampel on the draw control here. We've seen a little bit of some changes between Charlotte Verhulst and Jaden Hampel throughout the day today. It's been a great overall draw unit. A great showing for Stony Brook's draw unit overall.
Harley Pilling at the center circle that time for Delaware. Kira Achatella puts the moves on, accelerates at the 20-yard line, and Stony Brook can taste it. 90 seconds away from victory here at Laval Stadium, and it'll be 33 consecutive wins here on Long Island's North Shore.
See a couple of other faces out there. Number 45, Zoe Kruger, freshman from Orangeville, Ontario. You also see Kelsey Lenegro behind the cage, rocking number 16. Stony Brook looking to kind of shed off this last 45 seconds of the shot clock.
About a 12-second difference between game and shot clock. Can't hold it for the entire way. Still looking, though, for another tally. And a Stony Brook team that had a season-low 8 goals against number 3 Northwestern. Back in a big way today on Long Island. Season high is 19 goals. They did it at San Diego State. Hampel probing. 15 seconds to work with for the Stony Brook offense. Achatella. McCarthy out of her net to steal that one away. As the shot clock expired. The clock will stop briefly here. 15.5 ticks remaining. But a big win coming up here for Stony Brook with a colossal midweek meeting at number 2 Syracuse again Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on ESPNU. Storylines aplenty. Joey Spallina, son of Joe Spallina, the freshman sensation on Syracuse's men's team.
Yellow card assessed to Stony Brook number 16, Kelsey Lenegro.
Kelsey Lenegro with a yellow card to the check of the head on Mercy McCarthy there.
What's another penalty in this game, right? Final 5 seconds here at LaFalle Stadium. Maybe one final shot for Stony Brook. It's on its way, and it's in.
Lexi Correa with the finish there. The buzzer beater finish for Stony Brook's offense.
The final score of today's game is
A reaction from Joe Spallina as his team makes it 33 consecutive victories at LaFalle Stadium, and the nation's longest active conference winning streak in any college sport is extended. 19-6 victory, Stony Brook over Delaware. A little shaky early on, Kylie Oldmiller, but Stony Brook looked like the number 5 team in the country in the second half.
They definitely did. It seemed like a bit of a strong halftime speech from Coach Joe Spallina there, as well as probably their captains and their leaders, to kind of just wake up a little bit and turn the Jets on. And you saw Stony Brook lacrosse pop out very hard, very strong in the second half of this game. So coming out to a strong 19-6 game to start off their CAA era.
Ellie Macera, 7 goals. Kaylin Hart, 4 goals. 2 of them went behind her back. Stony Brook advances to 5-1. And as you noted, Kylie, unblemished at 1-0 in the CAA. Blue Hens sink to 4-5, 0-1 in the Colonial. They will host Monmouth next Saturday against Stony Brook to number 2 Syracuse Wednesday night, an 8 p.m. start on ESPNU. Big thank you to our camera folks bearing the elements here in mid-March on Long Island, and our producer Brian Kazaks for touching all the right buttons in our Stony Brook studios. For my broadcast partner, Kylie Oldmiller, I'm Johnny Wincott.